Hello, we're our Lives channel. Today we will learn about the explosive upcoming episodes that are set to shake Salem to its core. From shocking family revelations to dangerous secrets that threaten to unravel lives. The drama intensifies as we head into Friday, October 3rd, and the week of October 6th to 10th. The residents of Salem are about to face some of their most challenging moments yet, and no one will emerge unscathed from the chaos that's brewing. Chad's growing concerns about Thomas. Chad DiMera finds himself in a difficult position as he notices troubling changes in his son Thomas's behavior. The young boy has been acting out in ways that seem completely out of character, and Chad suspects that Rachel Black's influence might be behind these disturbing developments. What Chad doesn't fully realize yet is that Rachel has broken her promise and revealed to Thomas the shocking truth about Chad's relationship with Kat Green, the woman who cruelly impersonated his deceased mother Abigail. This revelation has left Thomas emotionally devastated and confused. The poor child is now struggling to process not only his father's lies but also the painful reality that someone would dare to pretend to be his beloved mother. The emotional weight of this discovery is causing Thomas to lash out, and his behavior is becoming increasingly concerning to everyone around him. Chad will need to have some serious conversations with his son to repair the damage that's been done, but the road to healing won't be easy. The betrayal Thomas feels runs deep, and it may take considerable time and effort before father and son can truly reconnect. As Chad watches his son suffer, he'll also have to confront the consequences of his own choices and the complicated situation he's created with Kat. Kate and Gwen's reunion holds hidden tension. When Gwen Rizek and Kate Roberts reunite, the atmosphere is filled with an undercurrent of tension that neither woman openly acknowledges. On the surface, their conversation appears friendly and casual, with Kate making polite inquiries about the renovations taking place at the hospital. However, there's far more to Kate's questions than simple curiosity about construction progress. She's subtly probing for information about the secret science laboratory that's hidden within the hospital's walls. This clandestine facility has been the source of considerable controversy and concern, and Kate is determined to uncover exactly what's going on behind closed doors. Gwen, for her part, must carefully navigate the conversation, choosing her words wisely to avoid revealing too much while still maintaining the appearance of openness. The hospital renovations have caused significant problems for Salem, including a devastating blackout that left residents furious and demanding answers. The situation has created a public relations nightmare, and both women are acutely aware that the secrets lurking beneath the hospital could potentially destroy lives and reputations if they're ever fully exposed. As they talk, each woman is playing a careful game of chess, trying to determine what the other knows while protecting their own interests. Paulina unleashes her fury on EJ. The confrontation between Paulina Price and EJ DiMera reaches a boiling point as the mayor unleashes a torrent of harsh words directed at Salem's district attorney. Paulina has had enough of EJ's manipulations and questionable decisions, particularly regarding the hospital renovation disaster that plunged Salem into darkness. As mayor, Paulina feels personally responsible for the well-being of Salem's citizens, and she's not about to let EJ off the hook for his role in this catastrophe. The blackout affected countless residents, disrupting businesses, endangering patients at the hospital, and creating chaos throughout the town. Paulina is absolutely livid that such a preventable situation was allowed to occur, and she holds EJ accountable for his poor judgment and lack of oversight. Their heated exchange is filled with accusations and recriminations, with neither party willing to back down. EJ attempts to defend his actions and deflect blame, but Paulina isn't having any of it. She demands answers and accountability, making it crystal clear that there will be serious consequences if EJ doesn't take responsibility for the mess he's helped create. The tension between them is palpable, and their battle could have far-reaching implications for both of their political careers and personal relationships within Salem's tight-knit community. Jeremy Horton's surprising return. Julie Williams is absolutely thrilled when a beloved member of the Horton family makes an unexpected appearance in Salem. Jeremy Horton, portrayed by Trevor Donovan, returns home after a long absence, and his arrival sends ripples throughout the community. For those who remember Jeremy from his previous stint in Salem back in 2007, His return brings with it a complicated history that cannot be ignored. Jeremy is the son of Mike Horton and Robin Jacobs, and he was involved in a deeply troubled relationship with Stephanie Johnson during his last time in town. Their romance was far from healthy, marked by Jeremy's criminal behavior, persistent lying, and most disturbingly, his abusive treatment of Stephanie. When Jeremy left Salem years ago, he claimed he wanted to start fresh and become a better person. Now that he's back, the question on everyone's mind is whether he's truly changed or if he's the same troubled young man who caused so much pain before. His return coincides with some unsettling developments involving Stephanie, making his timing particularly suspicious and concerning to those who care about her well-being. Stephanie's troubled confession to Alex. Stephanie Johnson finds herself in need of someone to confide in, and she turns to Alex Kyriakis to share the stress that's been weighing heavily on her mind. The conversation between them is intense and revealing, as Stephanie opens up about her troubled past and the complicated connection between Jeremy Horton and J.J. Devereaux. What Alex may not fully realize is that Stephanie's anxiety is partially connected to her work as an author writing under the pseudonym Anastasia Sands. Her book, One Stormy Night, contains personal details drawn from her real-life experiences with her ex-boyfriends, and she's terrified that these men will recognize themselves in the pages. Philip Kyriakis has already figured out that Stephanie is the author, identifying details from his own relationship with her. Now with Jeremy Horton back in town, Stephanie's worst fears may be coming true. There's a particular section of the book that Stephanie desperately wanted removed before publication, but it looks like that passage made it into the final version anyway. This has left her in a state of panic, worried about what will happen when Jeremy reads the book and recognizes the intimate details of their toxic relationship. As Stephanie confides in Alex, she's seeking not just emotional support but also guidance on how to handle the potential fallout from Jeremy's return and the revelations in her book. Jeremy confronts Stephanie about her writing. The inevitable confrontation between Jeremy Horton and Stephanie Johnson finally occurs when Jeremy approaches her about the writings he's discovered. Having read One Stormy Night, Jeremy has recognized personal details and situations from their relationship woven throughout the narrative. The encounter is tense and uncomfortable as Jeremy insists that he's a changed man and no longer the abusive, troubled person he was during their relationship years ago. He claims to have worked on himself and grown from his mistakes, but Stephanie understandably has reservations about believing him. The trauma from their past relationship hasn't simply disappeared with time, and seeing Jeremy face to face brings back painful memories she'd rather forget. Jeremy's insistence that he's different now puts Stephanie in a difficult position. Should she give him the benefit of the doubt, or should she trust her instincts and maintain her distance from someone who once caused her so much harm? The situation is further complicated by the fact that Jeremy's family connections in Salem make it nearly impossible for Stephanie to avoid him completely. As they talk, both must navigate the complicated terrain of their shared history while trying to determine if any kind of peaceful coexistence is possible moving forward. Steve and Brady investigate the baby mystery. Steve Johnson and Brady Black team up to investigate a perplexing new mystery surrounding baby Tesoro. The situation has become increasingly confusing as the timeline of events simply doesn't add up. Initially, there were questions about whether Tate Black could be the baby's father, but Caleb Brady delivered surprising news to Brady that the DNA test results prove Tate is not a match. This revelation eliminates one possibility but opens up an entirely new set of questions. If Tate isn't the father, then who is? The investigation now focuses on obtaining another DNA test, this time to determine if there's any connection between the baby and Sophia Choi. Sophia has been at the center of considerable drama lately, and her involvement in various schemes has made her a person of interest in multiple situations. Steve, with his extensive investigative experience, and Brady, who has personal investment in protecting his son and uncovering the truth, make a formidable team. As they dig deeper into the mystery, they'll uncover information that could change everything for several Salem families. The truth about Tesoro's parentage has implications that extend far beyond simple paternity, potentially affecting adoption proceedings, relationships, and the futures of multiple young people in Salem. Cat's dangerous ISA cover. Kat Green finds herself in an increasingly precarious position as the risk of her ISA cover being blown becomes more real with each passing day. Working undercover for the International Security Alliance has always carried inherent dangers, but Kat's situation is particularly complicated given her romantic involvement with Chad DiMera and her painful impersonation of his late wife Abigail. If her true identity and mission are exposed, the consequences could be catastrophic not just for her assignment but for her personal safety as well. The people she's been investigating are dangerous, and they won't take kindly to discovering they've been deceived. Kat must maintain her cover at all costs while also navigating the complex emotional landscape of her relationship with Chad. Thomas DiMera's discovery of their romance has already created problems, and if the full truth about Kat's identity and mission comes out, it could destroy any chance she has of a future with Chad. She's walking a tightrope between her professional obligations and her personal desires, and one wrong move could send everything crashing down. The ISA is counting on her to complete her mission, but as the walls close in, Kat must decide what she's willing to sacrifice to protect both her cover and the people she's come to care about in Salem. Johnny and Chanel's marriage crisis. The marriage between Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree faces its most serious test yet, when lewd text messages involving Holly Jonas surface at the worst possible moment. Johnny and Chanel were supposed to celebrate a joyous occasion related to their adoption plans for baby Tesoro, but instead, everything fell apart in spectacular fashion. A social worker arrived earlier than expected, and from the moment she walked through the door, something felt off. She read them a letter from Tesoro's biological mother, who made it abundantly clear that she did not want Johnny and Chanel to adopt her child. The letter also contained shocking accusations about Johnny having an inappropriate relationship with a student. As if that wasn't devastating enough, provocative photos were sent from Holly's phone at precisely the wrong moment, providing what appeared to be evidence supporting the accusations. The social worker left immediately, and Chanel completely lost it, confronting Johnny with all her fears and suspicions. Even though Johnny swears he's being set up and that nothing happened with Holly, Chanel has doubts, especially given Holly's previous crush on him. The pieces of evidence fit together too neatly, and Chanel can't help but wonder if there's some truth to the accusations. Their dream of adopting Tesoro now hangs in the balance, possibly destroyed forever, and their marriage is under tremendous strain as trust issues threaten to tear them apart. Sophia's schemes begin to unravel. Behind all the chaos affecting Johnny, Chanel, and Holly is Sophia Choi, who has been orchestrating a malicious campaign against them. Sophia has been methodically executing her plan, targeting both Johnny and Holly with carefully calculated moves designed to destroy their lives. She exploited the love triangle situation, using provocative pictures and strategic timing to maximum effect. Her goal was to sabotage Johnny and Chanel's adoption process while simultaneously hurting Holly, and by all appearances, her scheme is working perfectly. However, secrets in Salem never stay buried forever, and Sophia is starting to panic. Something has triggered her fear. Perhaps someone is getting too close to discovering the truth about her manipulations. Sophia may even consider alerting the school about the supposed inappropriate relationship between Johnny and Holly, which could jeopardize Johnny's teaching position and create even more problems. But as her panic grows, Sophia is becoming increasingly reckless and desperate. Her behavior is raising red flags, and it's only a matter of time before someone puts the pieces together and realizes that she's been pulling the strings all along. When the truth finally comes out, Sophia will face serious consequences for the lives she's tried to ruin with her calculated deceptions. Xander and Sarah's couples therapy. Xander Cook and Sarah Horton are taking an important step in their relationship by beginning couples therapy sessions. Their marriage has faced considerable challenges, and they've both recognized that professional help might be necessary to work through their issues and rebuild the trust that's been damaged. The therapy sessions represent hope that they can overcome their problems and emerge with a stronger, healthier relationship. Recent spoilers suggest that Xander has been making progress in winning Sarah back, showing her through his actions that he's committed to making their marriage work. The therapy sessions will give them a safe space to communicate openly about their feelings, address past hurts, and develop strategies for moving forward together. Both Xander and Sarah are invested in making their relationship work, But they also understand that healing takes time and effort. The couple's therapy sessions will test their commitment to each other and force them to confront difficult truths about themselves and their relationship patterns. As they work through their issues with professional guidance, they'll discover whether their love is strong enough to overcome the obstacles they've faced and build a foundation for a lasting future together. Rachel's troubling behavior escalates. Rachel Black's behavior continues to deteriorate, causing alarm among everyone who cares about her. Her dark side is emerging in ways that are shocking to witness, leaving people like Thomas DeMera and Julie Williams stunned by her actions. Rachel's promise to keep Chad and Kat's relationship secret was broken when she deliberately told Thomas about them, knowing it would cause him pain. Her motive was purely malicious. She wanted to hurt Thomas during their argument, showing a cruel streak that's deeply concerning. Marlena Evans, Rachel's grandmother, will likely need to scold her for breaking her promise and for the hurtful way she wielded that information. But Rachel's problems go much deeper than simply breaking a promise. Her erratic behavior is getting progressively worse, and spoilers indicate that a major incident is brewing that will shock everyone. Something significant is about to happen involving Rachel, and the consequences could be serious. The adults in her life need to intervene quickly before her behavioral issues spiral completely out of control and she does something that can't be undone. Rachel's actions suggest a troubled young person crying out for help, and if she doesn't get the support and guidance she needs soon, the situation could become truly dangerous. Alex and Stephanie face relationship challenges. The budding relationship between Alex Kyriakis and Stephanie Johnson encounters immediate challenges that threaten to derail their romance before it truly begins. Alex and Stephanie have a serious talk that addresses some of the complications they're facing. With Jeremy Horton back in Salem and stirring up Stephanie's painful past, Alex must decide how supportive he can be while also protecting his own emotional well-being. Stephanie's stress levels are through the roof as she deals with Jeremy's return, her anxiety about her published book, and the various dramas swirling around her. These external pressures are putting strain on her developing relationship with Alex, testing whether they have the foundation necessary to weather these storms together. Additionally, their relationship faces the challenge of Salem's complicated social dynamics and the fact that both have complicated romantic histories that could potentially create problems. As they navigate these obstacles, Alex and Stephanie must communicate openly about their concerns and decide if they're willing to fight for their relationship despite the challenges. The next few weeks will be crucial in determining whether Alex and Stephanie's romance can survive the immediate pressures they're facing, or if the complications will prove too much to overcome. The upcoming episodes of Days of Our Lives promise intense drama, shocking revelations, and emotional confrontations that will leave Salem forever changed. Don't miss a single moment of the action.